It was Christmas morning, and the house was filled with the comforting aroma of cinnamon and roasted turkey. I had spent hours the night before carefully wrapping each gift, making sure every present for my wife and her family carried meaning. I wanted this Christmas to be special, a reminder of the love we once shared, even though our marriage had been strained. I hoped the holiday spirit might mend some of the cracks between us. I was wrong. Her family gathered in the living room, laughter spilling into every corner. They sipped hot cocoa, tore into presents, and exchanged smiles that warmed the atmosphere. I glanced at my wife, silently praying she would meet my eyes with even the faintest spark of affection. Instead, she avoided me entirely. Her smile, bright and genuine, was reserved only for her parents and siblings. When it was time for me to hand out gifts, I saved hers for last, a necklace I had spent months saving for. She opened the box slowly, gave it a brief glance, and then set it aside without a word of appreciation. My chest tightened. Before I could ask if something was wrong, she reached into her sweater pocket and pulled out an envelope, placing it in my hands. Her eyes were cold, and the air in the room seemed to grow heavier. I opened the envelope, expecting a card or a heartfelt letter. Instead, neatly folded inside were divorce papers. For a moment, the words blurred as I struggled to process what I was holding. My throat went dry, and all I could manage was a choked whisper. "What is this?" Her reply was calm, almost rehearsed. "It's what I've been waiting for the right time to give you." Today felt perfect. And as though they had rehearsed it together, her family erupted in cheers and applause. Their smug expressions told me everything. They had been waiting for this exact moment, eager to see me humiliated. I sat frozen, my mind spinning. Christmas, the day of love and togetherness, had turned into the cruelest spectacle of my life. They weren't just celebrating the holiday, they were celebrating my heartbreak, treating it as the grand finale of their festivities. I realized then that her family had never truly accepted me. To them, I had always been an outsider, an obstacle keeping her from what they believed she deserved. I looked back at my wife, desperate for any flicker of hesitation or regret in her eyes. There was none. She stood with her arms crossed, smiling confidently, as though she had finally claimed some kind of victory. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but I could barely breathe. My heart was shattering while they applauded. As I sat there, memories of all I had done for her flooded my mind, working long hours to provide for us, sacrificing my own dreams so she could pursue hers, standing by her when no one else would. Yet here she was, discarding me like a used ornament tossed aside after the season. Her father raised his glass and said, "To new beginnings." The room echoed with cheers and laughter. Meanwhile, I sat clutching the papers that symbolized the end of everything I thought we had built. I felt invisible, as though my years of love and loyalty had vanished without a trace. My legs trembled as I stood. Quietly, I placed the necklace back in front of her. "Merry Christmas," I whispered, my voice breaking. No one noticed the tears in my eyes. Or maybe they did and simply didn't care. To them, I was finally erased from their daughter's life, and that brought them joy. Without another word, I walked out into the freezing air. Snowflakes clung to my coat, but I felt nothing. The cold outside was still warmer than the chill I had just left behind. The sound of laughter faded as I trudged toward my car, each step heavier than the last. Sitting behind the wheel, I stared again at the papers in my hands. My world had collapsed in an instant, and I couldn't comprehend how the woman I loved had grown so heartless. I thought of our vows, our promises, and how meaningless they were to her now. To her, I was disposable. But as the minutes passed, something inside me shifted. If she and her family wanted to celebrate my downfall, then let them. I would not give them the satisfaction of watching me beg or break. I realized I had been fighting alone in a marriage that had already ended long before that Christmas morning. I started the car, wiped away my tears, and drove off. The snow-covered streets stretched before me like a blank canvas. My life had been torn apart in front of a cheering crowd, but I made a decision then. It would not be the end of my story. If anything, It was the beginning of a new one. A life where I would finally put myself first. And as painful as it was, one truth became clear to me. Sometimes the cruelest endings are the very ones that set you free.